We're live. We are live. Hello. Hello, everyone. What's happening in the rail news world today? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, thank you. Oh, man. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm running late. I just got home. What? Well, that's unfortunate. Truck driver killed. He was parked on the tracks waiting for the line, in line with other vehicles waiting for traffic when the train approached. ACS train collided with a truck. Something great causing fatally injuring the driver. Train crew was not injured. Train did not derail. No hazmat was involved. Well, I guess if there's any good in that, that's a good thing. Gus, what's up, man? How are you? I was trying to find some news on the KCS merger. There it is. KCS punts merger vote until late September. Curious what stocks look like. Ah, I see nobody has faith. What's going on, man? MFD. Nick, what's up, buddy? Why do they continue to push back closing date for job applications back? Good question, Nick. I don't know. I need to make a video on that because NS is HR. I have a little bit of empathy for them because they're going through all the class ones are going through a really big conductor shortage. And I was told from Michael Larkin back in the day that on average they receive around 5,000 applications per week. So I'm a little empathetic, but at the same time, Gus has been dealing with some problems too here recently, and he's not the only one. Where they'll schedule an interview and then nobody shows up. The trainmaster, either the trainmaster's not there or there's a lack of communication somewhere, and it's a mess, man. I don't understand. But I see nobody has trust in. This is to when did this come out? Friday the 3rd. Yeah, on the 3rd when it started to fall. 9:30 a.m. Oh, Drew, man, what's up, buddy? Congrats, that's awesome. Hope all goes well, and they don't mess you up like they have been doing everybody else. It seems like with the well, no, you've already done your interview, so that's good. You'll probably train up north, I bet, somewhere close to your terminal. Maybe you'll get in pretty quick. I think I saw. Forgot who posted it. I think he said he went. Let me look on Facebook and see. I don't want to tell you wrong. But it was on the Norfolk Southern Conductor Training page. Here's a link to it if y'all want to join it. There's a lot of new guys in there, and you can ask questions and they'll help you out. I said, what did he say? Oh, it's Daniel. Oh, what did he? I think it was about a month. Took about a month for him to go through medical and then get a start date. He said he had to go to 2 drug tests, pee and hair, vision check, colorblind check, and hearing test, weight, height, and our checks as well. Oh, look, you got your medical tomorrow. That's good. I hadn't even looked at NS and CSX stock, guys. NS stock was around 190 or so when I was there. I noticed it had went. I have some now, but I've noticed it went way, way up. That is not right. But it's not. I don't have individual stocks with. I'm just in the index. Not signals stock. What in the world? It's been a long day. Oh yeah, it has went down. It was at like 280, I thought. Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, Nick. I saw that. So, it's this channel is nuts. So here's my analytics. So like again, I don't make money from this channel. I just do it because I can talk about railroad and all this stuff all day. But these are the analytics for the last 30 days. That's a lot of people looking for some answers. 10,000 views, almost 11,000 views in the past 28 days. Almost 1,000 watch hours and almost 300 subscribers just in 28 days. That's nuts. And of course, the most watched videos is how much does a conductor make, which I don't blame them. That would be my first question before I ever wanted to jump into the railroad. Sure. Oh, Otto, you've already started, hadn't you? You've already started your training, or I can't remember. There's so many. I know y'all's names. I just get everything mixed up. Huh? That's weird, True Man. They must really like you because that's kind of unheard of, at least from my end. That's good though. Hey, you got it. That's all that matters. Although you start Monday, that's awesome. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have. I wanted to make a short today, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys before I make the short. I'm gonna make one, but it's gonna be me holding toilet paper. Be sure and put toilet paper in your travel bag. You'll thank me. Well, next time you're wiping your butt, you'll think of me. I'm telling you, do it because the crew packs are garbage. You're like wiping your pate. You're trying to wipe your butt with like Bible paper. It's horrible. Says up over the year, but down. Yeah, I think I'm not sure why it's down over the last couple of weeks. I haven't kept up with all the news, really, because FRE. The reason I say that is because Intermobile is still congested really bad. Where was I just reading that? This merger might also have a lot to do with it too. Right here. Congestion persists. This was August 27th, a couple weeks or last week, 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'll stop reading news. I'll jump on this right here. Otto, I believe you're paid is it 175 per day? Or is it 180? Maybe I think it's 175 per day. So you should get paid for every day that you work. Hey Miller, let's see. So you guys start there September 27th. And it's last Thursday, so I haven't got any training location. I wouldn't freak out too much. If you haven't heard anything by, I would probably say probably sometime next week, I would be sending an email to HR. They'll get back with you before that start date. Also, you can try emailing your recruiter that contacted you. Most of them don't answer, but the best thing I have found is just to email Norfolk Southern HR or call them. Not that they answer. I'm not. I don't know if they answer or not. Actually, I haven't called them in so long. But here's the website to the HR page, and it'll be under employees. Employees will be the HR help desk. Here's the number in case you want to put it in your phone. Who has interviews coming up? Gus, you've got the goods. Anybody else have an interview coming up? Because I've got something I need to share with you, but I can't mention it. MFT, that's very true. Oh man, every single one of them was even BNSF was bad. Oh, my pleasure, Miller. Oh, okay. So you're just north of me. I'm here in Bama. I've relocate from Florida to Tennessee. That's awesome. Did you hire out of I'm gonna guess either Chattanooga or Nashville? Knoxville. That's right, not Nashville. Knoxville. I'm sorry. Cool. I've never been to Knoxville Yard, but I'm pretty sure Tennessee's wrapped up in the Southern Division, if I remember correctly. So it's Alabama and Tennessee, Georgia, not even Mississippi. No, it is. It is Mississippi. I think it's all mixed together now into one big division. Georgia to Indiana. Yeah, that's a good ride back home. Did any of you guys watch the signal video? Did y'all have a hard time understanding? Is there anything better I can do? That's what I'm trying to get at. I want to figure out how I can make the signals appear on this game, and I can actually show you what's going on. Good night, Miller. Take it easy, bud. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Uh-oh, y'all are gonna be working together, Luke. In the game, that would help a lot. Signals help. I've got about half of them memorized. That's good. Okay. I was trying to, like I mentioned last stream, I'm a perfectionist and I wanted to do it right. But when I was editing it, I was like, man, this is still hard. I need to somehow just figure out how to do it on this game and we'll be okay. I hate trying to find this button. They don't show it right. Oh, there we go. Save. Okay, good. At least y'all understood it. Yeah, I wish he wasn't going to Conrail Signal either, Gus. It's bad enough as it is. Yeah, if I can figure out a way to have the signals, especially for the ones coming up like advanced approach, divergent approach, restricted, and restricted signals, that would make it would really help a lot, I feel. How long is this train? Medical tomorrow. Y'all may start. I bet y'all start on the same day. If not in the same day, within probably the same couple of weeks, I bet. They normally bring a bunch of new people all in at once. At least that's what happened with us. The only reason I did that so they could mark everybody up all at the same time also. I feel like there's something wrong with this train. I don't know what it is. Henish, real fan, what's up, man? How are you? Yeah, I've heard 10 also, Otto. I guess because COVID and all that stuff. I'm speeding for real this time. I forgot how to do my dynamics. Not gonna let me do it. Whoops. Whoa! That just went straight to number 8. What in the world? So I'm curious, what questions do y'all have that y'all have thought of? Because I know y'all have had time to think. Amit, what's up, man? How are you? What are y'all thinking about when y'all go to bed? Yeah, Nick, I'm an Alabama fan. What I mean by that, I'm not trying to be like that. What is anxiety keeping y'all awake for? What are y'all worried about as far as class? Or y'all just nervous energy? Because I had all kinds of questions. In end scale, so I've only operated a handful of locomotives. I'm not going to sit and pretend I know what I'm doing. But for me, the only ones I've ever ran was not the top, the countertop. It was the, you know, the typical everything on the left. But it only took me a couple hours. It's pretty straightforward once you figure it out, because at least on locals, when I ran, you were really only using your independent or your locomotive brake. You never really used your automatic brake. True man, I'm not sure. Otto, understand how that is. Yeah, that can be nerve-wracking. How are the crew hotels? So we had Josh. We had in Chattanooga. We actually have a dorm dedicated for NS conductors and engineers. And that one sucked. The pillows were horrible. It's like you're locked in a prison, and it was god awful, man. But and then in Memphis, we stayed in a really nice hotel. And then in Meridian, when I transferred to Birmingham, we stayed in a super nice hotel also, and it had restaurants all around us. I mean, I'm using the Yeti Nano. I bought this back in the day. Yeah, it's called Trax Inn in Chattanooga. That may be what they call it now, but it was Trax Inn, and well, Trax Inn is a restaurant. Let me rephrase it. Yeah, Trax Inn is a restaurant, and that's, I guess it is the main crew lodge. Yeah. I mean, it's a good microphone. I've used it a lot. I've had it for years, and it's still working. I've dropped it. My son's grabbed a hold of it and dropped it. Still working. Oh, that's where you're staying. Okay. That's probably what they call it down here in Chattanooga too. It's like it's a 2-story, a big U pretty much in there. I think there's like 200 rooms in it. Otto, have you ever switched with rail cars or anything before? Or like dealt with the rail industry just at all? Oh, I'm speeding. We're about to be going uphill right there. Oh, that's good. So you got the switching stuff down, so that's... Yeah, you'll be alright. Oh, okay. Yeah, true, man. The NS don't get no hurry about anything, and that I know you've heard this saying, "Hurry up and wait." NS lives by that. Once you get out there, It's pretty wild. I don't understand. Like I was mentioning earlier before you got in, a lot of people's having troubles with their interviews or getting actual interviews, and it's just a mess. That's That's interesting, Josh. That's how they used to do it back in the day before. See, when I went to school for 3 weeks and then came back to my home terminal and trained. I trained for 8 weeks total, just for 2 months, and then I was I was kicked out to the wolves, and I was forced on a local. But it's good that they're sending you out to class, then you're going to your yard, then back to class. I think that's more beneficial for sure. You're not completely lost when you get back from class. Yard Master told you during my interview that when I get the email to tell them I was available for every day, yeah, they'll pay you. They should pay you. Anytime you're here available, you should be getting paid. Excited and nervous. I understand how that is. I was directly in y'all's shoes. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Um, what are y'all nervous about it? Y'all, are y'all just nervous because of the unknown, right? You don't know what to come, what's to come. Oh. Yes, I could have swore this was. That's right, true. That's right. I was pretty nervous because I had to move to a place I've never been. But it was like a good nervous. Yeah, it was a good nervous, and I tried to embrace it. A grab on. I've heard of a grab iron. I'm not sure what a grab on is, Jeff. Are you trying to pull a joke on me right now? Whoa. That was good. I should have seen that one coming. I'm gonna use that at work tomorrow. So I'm curious, what do y'all think y'all enjoy most, switching or riding on, being on the road? Being on the road? Yeah, being on the road's fun. It's I was already switching rail cars, so that wasn't anything really new. But being on a train running 60 it's a crazy feeling. You would think by looking at this game that it's kind of like, you know, smooth, and it is the exact opposite. And it's really eerie whenever you're running 60, and you can kind of see the locomotive moving. Even on the game, they try and make it, but the locomotive will actually bounce left and right, and it'll rock you to sleep if you're not careful. Waving to the people, yeah. Josh, I used to do that all the time. Especially, we always have train buffs and stuff taking pictures in Birmingham. Yeah, I enjoy the road more than switching for sure. I really enjoyed working locals though. Like road sheesh, road switchers is what they're called. Hey, look, there's a clear block. We're gonna keep on going. Our speed's 50. You don't know what made me the most nervous? I'll just be transparent here, and that's talking to the dispatcher. What you doing, buddy? Thank you. Like getting track authorities. Just talking to the dispatcher in general, like that, for some reason that intimidated the hell out of me. Josh, we would have to copy track authorities. A lot of people don't have to do that anymore because of PTC, but the way it would work in a nutshell, we would have a book. We'd have to write down the track authority number, our engine number, and they made you like check box 2s and box 7s. You had to spell them out. So it'd be like track authority number 5704 5704 to the NS 1000 NS 1000 south SOUTH at mile marker 150 letter A, and say check box 2 TWO, proceed from mile marker whatever 151 letter A to mile marker 180 on the main and MAN track. It was really strange. I put a video up about it, and it was, the dispatchers they do it every day, so it's like clockwork, and they just rattle this crap off, and you have to write it down, and then you have to read it back to them twice, and then they'll approve it. And it was intimidating. It took me a while to get it right. Yeah, MFB, I did a lot of practice warrants on the side. It was wild. It was I remember the first one I heard, I was like, what in the world is going on? Actually, I have a video of I guess I can go to my channel, can I? We can listen to Brent Colglazer. He works in Muscle Shoals. And let me find it. We'll just listen to him. Copy one down. It's only like a few seconds. Let's see. How to read track authorities. Me and my goofy skits. Where is it at? I know I put it somewhere. Okay, so this is...
That's all.
I should be able to hear this. 443 milepost.
Alright, make a track authority 1745, 1745 to the UP 7043, 7043 West, WEST at the 443, 443 letter A. Checkbox 2 TWO, proceed from Rudy to Shawali on the main, MAN track. Box 9, NINE, clear, CLEAR, main track at last name point.
That's funny.
1745 has 2 boxes, 2 and 9. Dispatcher DWM, over.
Track authority 1745, 1745 UP Union Pacific 7043, 7043 West, WST at 443. That's 443 letter A. Checkbox 2 TWO, proceed from Rudy to Swally on main MAN track. Checkbox 9 NINE, clear, CLEAR, main track at last name point. Copied by Colglazer, acknowledged by Jackson, dispatcher DWM.
That's when Colglazer just started. He was a CT right there. I've never noticed that. Never pay attention to it. He said copied by Colglazer, acknowledged by whoever. That means there's somebody with him. That's funny. Yeah, that's it. And then she'll read it back and say, yeah, that's right. And then you got to read it again. Then that's a MFD. Believe it or not, they made it rule violation if we had anything copied in advanced on our track authority books, and they would actually look. I still have some of mine still. Daryl, what's up, man? I guess you just got off work, huh? Oh, you haven't missed nothing, Gus. We're just over here just hanging out. I'm gonna turn this down. That's way too loud. That's still way too loud. That's better. Yeah, they would. Them train masters, you know how they are. The ones trying to climb the totem pole, they would come in and check. They'd come in and check your track authority books, make sure. Mainly local guys would make sure they didn't have the track authorities already rewritten, because we would rewrite them, definitely, because we had the same work betweens every day, and they would make sure you didn't do it. It's pretty wild. And they gave us a signal log, which is just a piece of paper, and you'd write down the name of the signals, the time, and the aspect. So it'd be like Rudy, clear, 855. And if you had, let's say you had to hit, if you had to go in the hole or you hit a turnout, you had to write down the speed of that turnout, and if it was wrong, they would write you up for it. And so the book was actually created as a learning tool, and they turned it into a firing tool, and now they're completely done away with them because of the unions finally had enough, I guess. They finally grew up here and said something about it. Yeah, they had some really goofy stuff. I don't know what. That's the some of them rules where I don't know. I question a bunch of them. The biggest rule that I question, and I didn't get in trouble, but they tried to. We had to stop at Mercedes plant, and we had to pick up auto racks, and I think we had to pick up. I think it was like 60, if I remember correctly. And they had just come out with a new rule that day that said we could not reach over the knuckle to cut in our angle cock. So, you know, knowing how an auto racks are, we can't climb over. So I get out, throw the derail, line us into the yard, couple up. I lace the air hose, and I just immediately just shoot the train into emergency. And engineer said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going for a walk." And there was a train master there, and he said, "Cobb, what are you doing?" I said, "I gotta walk around this train to cut the angle cock in. I can't reach over the knuckle, remember?" And he said, "No, you ain't gotta worry about that rule." I said, "No, that's the rule." I said, "I'll be back." And I walked 60 cars down, walked around, cut the air in, and then went back and did my brake test, walked back down, and then walked back up. So I essentially walked 180 auto racks. We never made it to the yard. Yeah, we lolled. Daryl, that's much appreciated, I promise. Definitely for the newer conductors. We had a dispatcher named Dave. I'm friends with him on Facebook. But he would rattle them things off, man, in a hurry. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Dave, can you repeat that? He'd get frustrated. It's hilarious. Great guy. Dar, you work for CSX, don't you? So yours are called? It's not track authorities. They're called. Are they track warrants still? I think MFD said it earlier. Are they still called track warrants? Or they're called like some kind of? They're called something goofy, like a M.213 or something. DD214. Joking. Have a copy of authority form, so I have a good sense of what words the conductor is writing down too. So EC1, that's it. Yeah. East Coast Movement Instruction. Okay. Really, officers doing efficiency tests. I bet they still do something like that. I remember. Well, Daryl even mentioned it last stream that they have to answer for any type of delays in a train. Like what? That's crazy. Some stuff you just, I mean, I guess I understand answering or telling them why it happened, but as long as they wouldn't hold you accountable for the stuff that you can't control, like knuckles or who knows what, traffic, trees, yard masters, a big one. Newer yard masters don't have a clue what they're doing. East Coast Movement. Oh wow, that's sneaky. I mean, I understand why, because Dave, the dispatcher I was just mentioning, once he heard you copy, 10 or 20 of them, it was almost like a trust thing. Like he knew you were copying it right. Wow, that's crazy. And you'd repeat it back to Dave, and he'd be like, "Yeah, that's right." What did they say? I forgot what it says. Something about corrected at a certain time or repeated correctly at whatever time, 8 p.m. That's sneaky though. Wow. Maybe I don't want to be a dispatcher after all. I always thought I would be okay at it, or I would enjoy it. I ain't gonna say I'd be good at it. I always thought I'd enjoy it. Kyle, what's up, man? Still waiting on start date, Muscle Shoals. Kyle, I don't see that happening. And even if it does, the guys you're going to be working with in Muscle Shoals are not going to. I can go ahead and tell you. I'm friends with mostly all of them on Facebook, and I know their viewpoints on that. From what I've heard about the mask, I believe you have to wear them inside the cab, but I'm not positive. I can actually ask and see while we're sitting here. Let me ask my buddy real quick and see. Maybe he's at home. Spooner, what's up, man? How are you? Thank you for dropping by again. Brandon just said no one does, Kyle, so. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you are going to have to mask up for training. Yeah, you know, yeah, I probably do. I need to find a picture. The yard guy, his name's Utley, Kyle. You'll meet him and you'll know his voice. Y'all remember when what's his name? Jeff Epstein? Is that his name? When the whole meme going around that Epstein didn't kill himself, they put that on the hump yard sign. It's pretty funny. Yeah, MFD, you're right. Wow. I don't know, man. I feel like companies are flirting with some serious class action lawsuits doing that. Like, I don't, you know, how I am with just about anything controversial. If it's not affecting me in any way, then go for it. But don't try and force me to do something I don't agree with. Or even if I did have the vaccine, I don't know. I'm not big on mandates. Only mandate I'm big on is a 2-man crew. Mask up and an orientation email. I would get one of those mask spooners that says I'm only wearing this so I don't get fired. Pretty sure Utley shared that picture. I guess he didn't. Maybe it was David. Let me give you a crash course on Muscle Shoals Yard, Kyle. I was looking for that picture. I can't find it. I forgot who shared it also. Pretty funny, though. Muscle Shoals Yard, though, is easy. There's really not much to it. Mask inside and outside. What? No. What? Y'all seen that guy on TikTok? What? Here's NS. Here, have you ever been up there, Kyle? Have you ever drove up here to the washrooms or anything? True, that's a good one. Anything to get a laugh. That's wild. Outside too. Well, I guess the best way to look at that is it's only temporary. As soon as y'all get out of school, from what I was just told from a friend that works where we're looking here, nobody wears them in the cab or anywhere. Oh, okay, yeah. So you've been right here then. This is what you've seen on Wilson Dam Road. Yes, you'll turn up in here and you'll hang a right. You'll go all the way down this road. It crosses over right here, and you'll come right here is your washroom. Washroom is where you get your paperwork. You'll probably meet on your first day. You'll probably meet your conductor here. When was this picture taken? I wonder if my truck's outside. Yeah, this is where you'll be getting all your paperwork and stuff done here. This is diesel shop stuff. This is a diesel shop. You'll get most of your power out of here if it's not already hung for you. You'll get your paperwork here. You'll step out, come across, get on your power. You'll pull out. This track right here is actually called the thoroughfare where these engines are. And this track runs from one end of the yard to the other. So if we follow it, it goes all the way down here, all the way to the end, and it turns up. We call this the ladder switches. Then it runs all the way to the back. You follow it right here. This part. All the way back here to we call this the pullback. Maybe we'll see engines back here. Yep. This is the pullback, and this is a little shack that you'll sit in. You'll actually control the switches here. It's the air conditioned shack, and this is where you build trains. So this is the bowl yard. This is where they hump cars off. Actually, you know what? Let me back up. Let me make this a little bit easier. Say you're coming from Memphis. This right here is this is going to Memphis. Say you come back in, right? This right here is the receiving yard. This is where you're going to pull your train into. All right, you'll pull your train in. You'll knock your power off right in here, and you'll put it up in a diesel shop. All right, you'll get the hump cars too. So with that same train, you'll be standing up here pulling switches, and they'll be rolling off. Where's the building at? Is gone. Oh, here we go. You'll be pulling switches up here where this shack is. You'll be rolling cars off. This is the class yard. This is where they sort all the rail cars coming in. And the pullback will go into this bowl, into the class yard, grab the cars that they need to, pull back here, and then shove them into, this is called the forwarding yard. And this is where your outbound trains are going. So outbound yard, class yard, or the hump, diesel shop, inbound train, and I forgot what this track's called, but it's for coal trains. Kyle, do you know if you're going to be on Memphis West, or are you going to be on the NA? I think I asked you this last time. I think you said you wasn't sure yet. I know that's confusing, but like my anxiety, remember when I first started, I didn't know where to go. So I'm glad you're in here. But yeah, this is where no matter what line you're on, this is where you'll end up. So I used to come in here and park somewhere right in here and walk in here. And there'll be like some tables and some computers up against this wall. There'll be some tables over here and bathrooms over here. They'll be looking for you, because I'm pretty sure they still make y'all wear orange vest, if I remember correctly. MFD, yeah, good point. That's me. I was actually asked by one of the new core bosses last week. He asked me about getting the vaccine. I was like, I ain't big in experimental drugs, Jason. I'm sorry. He just looked at me, shook his head. Jason don't like me. I'm a thorn in his side. Knoxville Yard, yeah. See if we can find it. Knoxville, Tennessee, NS. Oh, that didn't work. Oh. Oh, here it is. That's pretty easy to see, ain't it? There's y'all's class yard, or the bowl. Here's y'all's hump. This right here is going to be y'all's inbound train. Yeah, good. Grief, that's long. Yeah, so it looks like y'all be coming in. This is going to be inbound. And it looks like, yeah, so like y'all have a road splitting y'all's too. It's almost like Muscle Shoals in a way. This looks to be y'all's outbound train yard here. Yeah. Now the question is, where would y'all meet at? Let's see if we can find the vehicles. Oh, what's this? Yeah, a bunch of cars in one little B building. It might be where you meet. Maybe this is where you meet. That's a sweet washroom if it is. If it is. Like the tower, maybe? Well, I have learned on a new job to keep my mouth closed and ears and eyes open. Yeah, Kyle. All the guys you're going to work with, they're going to set you up to do well. I don't know of any bad conductor out there. And when you get to Decatur and you get to work with, oh man, let me see. Let me start naming some names. Jason. Let me say Jason Hall is his name. And Brian. Let's see. Is it Brian? No, Bradley Malone. Jason and Bradley are hilarious. They're funny. You'll enjoy them. There's a lot of guys in Decatur you'll enjoy working with. If they're still there, they may be gone. I guess I appreciate it. Holy cow. 4 hours for medical and 6 hours wish me luck. I hope you can claim mileage for that. That's insane. When I did my medical, it was only like 15 minutes from my house. It was like right down from the yard. That's insane. Doesn't Knoxville run a Chattanooga? Yeah, they have to. Luke, whenever you get in a Chattanooga yard, it's crazy, man. This yard is massive. And you're going to be coming in on the end that I don't know much about. We came in on the south end or southwest end. This yard is huge, huge, huge. Huh. Well, that's all right. At least once you get it done, it'll be over with, Mike. Good luck, though. Hopefully, they'll let you claim mileage because that's some baloney. Oh, they did your medical in Iuka, and you live in Florence or Muscle Shoals? That's a little bit of a drive too. I remember Iuka. That's a signal, by the way, going to Memphis. Done some work up there on the hill. Iuka, there it is. A goofy name. Bristol on the north. That makes sense. I think that's right. I think I've heard that before too. That oh, I thought Knoxville might run. I don't know. I can't remember. I thought they ran to like 5 different places, but I could be wrong. More than likely, I'm wrong. That's that hearsay. That's that dorm. Well, you'll get to stay in the dorm in Chattanooga. Luke, here's a word of advice: bring your own pillow. Oh, Josh, appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck. Keep me posted how it is or how everything goes. I look forward to good news, comments, or messages. Oh, you live in Tennessee? Okay. Who else lived in Tennessee? He was a Tennessee fan. We used to give him such a hard time. Oh man, what's his name? Can't remember. It's been a while. Shower shoes? No, nah. It's not that nasty. It's just the pillows suck, man. They give you there's like 4 in the bed. When you lay down on all 4 of them, it just collapses. It's just nothing. No, Luke, that's probably right. Like I said, that's that dorm hearsay that Knoxville travels like 5 different places, but even if it did, you would probably only go to 2. Do they hook you up NS threads? NS will definitely throw some stuff at you, and they'll have their logo all over it. They're very proud of that. Nucor's the same way. I was actually given. You can look right here. There's a hat from Nucor yesterday, and they're the same way, man. They just throw their logo on absolutely everything. Last year we were given cooking utensils, like grilling utensils, and they got Nucor engraved and all that stuff. There's a website you can get what is issued to you at training, so you should get a bag, a big duffel bag. I can show y'all if y'all want to see it. It's a black duffel bag. It's got NS on it. You'll get your lantern and your lantern charger and your battery, and you'll get your radio charger, your switch keys, and I believe you'll get your temporary certifications. I think that's right. I think that's all you get. Yeah, true, man. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Thankfully, Nucor does hand out raises, but yeah, Norfolk Southern, no. Anything for a tax write-off, right? How you'll get to mess with training. You have to bring work gloves to school? No. The only thing you need to bring when I was there was make sure you have the right boots with a 90-degree heel, and we had to have a watch. I don't know if the watch applies anymore. No, they supply the books, Luke, and you'll have a stack of them. And the rule is someone has to have them on them at all times, so you'll have to stack them in your thing. A bunch of them, man. I still got all mine. Let me see if I can find that. Let me grab that bag real quick. I'll show you. Yeah, so I think the way they do it now, Spooner, whenever I was going to go back, or when I went back and wasted their time, they were going to let me order 6 months worth of safety stuff off this website. And then it was up to me to make that last 6 months. And after 6 months, I can order more. If I was to run out, then they would obviously probably write you up for it. No, there's a lot of guys that wear overalls or, wear overalls and bibs to work. Oh, I had some. I wore during the winter. I had Carhartts. Yeah, as long as it's got the 90-degree heel auto, I think that's all they really care about. It's just so you can lock your foot in on the grab iron. Is it necessary? Not, in my opinion, no. But I'm sure it's some type of liability thing with insurance to get so they can save some money. Facebook. It's not. What is it? Oh, it is. I don't think Josh is in here. That's a good question. He just asked though. He just said, "How long does it take to get fully vested?" Um, better to wear long sleeves or short sleeves to training. So let's see. If you're going to be going to training, I would probably. You're not going to Georgia. We wore short sleeves because we was in Georgia. I was in Georgia in September and it was hot. Like right now, I hired September. When was my start date? September 8th or 11th or something like that. I think it was September 8th. We wore short sleeves. It was hot. Couldn't wear shorts. We did have pants. Oh yeah, Nick, I see them. Sorry. Whenever I started training, I worked with this guy named Peeper, and he had these really thin pants. It was like, y'all ever seen the pants where you can unzip it at the knee and it makes it shorts? He used to wear those switching. And whenever we would be switching for a while, he'd jump up on the cab and unzip them, and then he'd stick his leg out the window and let air blow through his pants. I bought some. I still have them today, actually. But Josh asked, he said, "How long does it take to get fully vested?" So you'll hear that term a lot, fully vested. In the railroad retirement, what that means is they take all your money that you've acquired in Social Security, like working your regular job over the years, and they dump that into your railroad retirement, and it's 5 years just become fully vested. I think it's completely up to you, Otto. I think if it was me, I would wear short sleeves just because it's hot down here. But Kyle, no, not really. I mean, you will work in the rain, unfortunately. The only reason I bought those boots, I don't even know if it says it, but they actually have the Dr. Scholl's type deal built in the bottom of them. And that I remember when I put those boots on, I was like, yeah, these things are sweet. I see why I paid $280 for them. I was really surprised that have came down to $180, which is still a lot of money. Red Wings are good too. I have Red Wings now. I've got metatarsal Red Wings boots. Have offers for CSX and NS. Which one would you pick? Oh, Nick, that's a tough question. I've always heard CSX furloughs more. I don't know if that's true or not. CSX pays more than NS. I feel like NS may have more work than CSX, but that's a tough one. I think either one would be okay. I feel like I guess if it was me, I would be a little biased, and I would probably go to NS. Yeah, Gus, that's right. Yeah, they're soft-toed. No need for steel-toe boots at all. Save your feet. I'm gonna break those boots back out actually in a couple of days whenever I go scouting. Trying to find some deer. I've seen some monster deer. Let me find the name of this place. No. It's not any of this. Oldham, Burnsville, no. Where'd my track go? Middleton. Grand Junction. LaGrange. That's it. We came through. Where's the track at? Here it is. No. Yeah. That's the track. I can show you exactly where I saw this deer. I don't know if you're in a deer hunt. I'm pretty sure you are if you're in Living Muscle Shoals. Somewhere in this area, I saw a monster deer. The biggest one I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, Nick, I did. Yeah, I had a fishing tournament. It was for Casting for Cancer last Saturday here at Neely Henry and Gadsden. At this river, where's that? Right here. This is the boat ramp here, and we had it, and it was a good tournament. There was a lot of people. A lot of people show up. Over 100 boats. We didn't do well. I mean, I caught one in this creek that weighed close to 3, and then we caught another one somewhere right in here that was around 2. But it normally takes about 12 to 14 pounds to do really well, and the guy weighed in almost 19. And I think they won $5,000, and I think they donated that money back to the charity Casting for Cancer. Gussie, I understand. I understand how everybody jumps on them when they see them. If it's brown, it's down. I'm only hunting for one reason, and that's a wall hanger. If it's does, I'll let them walk. Or even small bucks or young bucks, I'll let them walk. Wow. Yeah, that's someone that's a little hungry. Either they're killing for meat or they're just a little bloodthirsty. That's when we kill something. Biggest buck. I've never killed one. So, Nick, I've just started. I deer hunted when I was a kid, and then I got stuck into bass fishing. I've been bass fishing now, all my life. And last year I had just got into hunting. And the only reason I got into hunting, I find this is probably going to sound weird, but I find the management part really interesting. So I like managing ponds, like bass ponds. My buddy has one, and I've been managing it, and that's fun. And then my buddy of mine has some acres. I don't know how many he has, like 15 or some kind of acres, and he's got a bunch of pictures of does and stuff, and some bucks. He's got some pictures of some really. He said they're bucks with bad genetics. They got bad horns, so we got to take those out this year. We're going to try to. And there's a few bucks, and that's got really good genetics. It's not the typical basket rack. It's really wide racks, and I find that part really interesting. But I don't hunt for meat. Well, I guess if I really wanted some meat, I would, but I really just want to kill. I really just want to learn, and if I run across a big buck, great, I'll kill it. But I have a buddy at work I work with that's really, really good. He only hunts big bucks, and I've been picking his brain for the past couple of days. But I've never killed one. Never killed one. Wow, you can see the Irondale yard from here. $11 years, that's awesome. I worked for, it was Jim Walters, Nick. It was Jim Walters, number 4. And see if it's still on here. Should be in Brookwood. Yeah, Warrior Met Coal. That's who owns it now is Warrior Met. But it was a number 4 mine, and I only worked down there for a couple of years. Like when I hired him, everybody knew it was going downhill. It was going to get bought out, and yeah, I was really young. I was only 19. But it was fun. I worked on Longwall. Got to work on Longwall for a little bit. Did nothing but throw rock dust. Inhale silica all day. That was pretty cool to see how that stuff works. Grub, you haven't missed anything. There's nothing valuable here. I was trying to find the... This is number 4 right here. Here's where we went down. This is our shaft going down right here. Like 20, I think it was 2,800 feet. And thankfully the seams were pretty big. We didn't have any small seams. Most of the coal seams were 7 to 10 foot. There wasn't no crawling or any of that good stuff. "12 points is the biggest I've ever ran into." Wow. I've hit a bunch of bucks on the train. A bunch of does too. I'll never forget one of them deer. She walked out on the track and then started to run down the track. And there was a little culvert with a bridge. And she just stopped and turned sideways and looked at us. Grub with NS pay increases by year. I think you start off at 80%. Make sure that's right. Norfolk Southern. Conductor. Let's see. Let's look and see what it says right here. You all jobs. Conductor. But in Alabama, I'm pretty sure Muscle Shoals is still hiring. Yep, they are. I should go back. All right, it says training's $175 a day. Guarantee minimum earnings progressively increase over the next 5 years to approximately 63.5. I think it's every year. I think you go from 80. Start off at 80. Yeah, you start off at 80, then you go to 85 your second year. Then your third year you go to 90. Fourth year 95. Fifth year 100, I think. I think that's right. Yeah, Gus, that's it. That has been all my working career. I went to school to be an electrician, didn't want to do that. Got into the coal mines, did that. Wanted to work for the railroad, started off making what did I make? I think I started off making $10.50 an hour. Then I went to another job, made $12.50 an hour, then went to the railroad. And now I'm at Nucor. Crazy. Interesting past 10 years, that's for sure. A buddy here is in the coal fields, has 17 years of CS section, just got off furlough last month. Wow. I've always heard CSX furloughs more, but the big furlough happened last year, or really in 2018, 2019, because of, I'm sure he's mentioned this because of Hunter Harrison, the old CEO of CSX, and his little PSR scheme. That had a lot to do with it. Half is 2 weeks, Otto. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got it right. That's right. You get 48 hours off an extra board, right? Yeah, Morton, that's right, you do. Yeah. So you like typically you got different crews, A, B, and C crew, I think. And you'll work. You have to be marked up and available for 6 days. And then in those 6 days, you have 48 hours off, and you can mark yourself back up if you want to work more. You'll call crew call, and it's time to put you back on extra board. You mark off. I know you lose your guarantee for that half, but do you screw everything every other week and month? No, it's just for it's just for those 2 weeks, Gus. From at least NS. If you claimed a job, it would mess it up, and if you marked off sick, yeah, they would take it from you. But I used to claim jobs. Like whenever I'd come in, I would like I'd go to sleep, wake up because I lived by myself. Katie and the kids were still down here in Birmingham, so I'd go to sleep, wake up, and then mark myself up and go take off out of town. Luke, it depends on how the extra board's turning. Right now, yeah, I would say you're probably gonna work all 6 days. Sea of Thieves is a lot of fun, Otto. But typically during the summer is your slow months. During this winter is your crazy months due to definitely if you got cold trains, and then of course you have the holidays. Then during the summer it kind of slows down. I should apply for Muscle Shoals and call John, which is the terminal superintendent. Ask him if he's going to hire me and make a video out of it. This is a lie. No, Nick. So what you can do is, if you call and mark off sick, if you just call in and say, "Hey, you can mark me off sick," they'll mark you off sick for 24 hours. The ticket is you call in and say, "Hey, you can mark me off sick," and I'm going to mark myself back up, and then you just stay off until you call back. Luke, when I was there, so you got 2 different ones. You got the BLET, which is the Brotherhood Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen. Then you have the UTU, which I don't even know what that stands for. That's the Union. What does that mean? United Transportation Union, UTU. UTU is a little bit more expensive. They're around $110 a month, something like that. And I think BLET was around 70 or 80 a month. There's really no. I was with the BLE, and it was strictly for the representation only. The local chairmen for the BLE and Muscle Shoals are really, really good, and that's why I went with them. Kyle, you'll get to meet Ty. Ty's a great guy. I would encourage you to go with the BLE, but go with what you think is best. Nick, I think you're paid per day. Let me make sure that's right. I think it's once during training, conductor training, we earn $175 each day. So yeah, it's however many days you work that week. No, look, it really just boils down to representation. So you look at it this way: a union for you guys being conductors, Kyle, yeah, I can get into sharpshooting in just a minute. But look, it really boils down to representation. So pretty much just look at it this way. You're going to hire a lawyer. The union's going to be your lawyers in case you get in trouble. So go meet with your local chairmen of the UTU, meet with your local chairmen of the BLE, whoever you like better, choose them. Yeah, Charles, I think that's right. I think they are part of the Teamsters now. Kyle, you read? Okay, so about sharpshooting. So I used to be the master at this. Sharpshooting is they start after I left. I've heard that they kind of cracked down on sharpshooting because I used to do it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I used to do it a lot. Nick, yeah, they will. They should approach you, and if they don't approach you, then they also don't want they don't want y'all's money. So I would just go with whoever you think's best. Modern, so the UTU and the BLE's purpose is really to negotiate with the company, with Norfolk Southern, and they negotiate our pay, our benefits, and all that good stuff. And they also fight for you. So if you derail a train, run over through a derail, then they're going to fight for you to get your job back. But yeah, so back to sharpshooting. Sharpshooting is, let's say there's a vacancy. Let's say on a pull turn, a conductor took vacation, right? So there's an empty, his job is empty. They typically, what? Huh? Yeah. They typically will call a conductor from the extra board and to fill that vacancy. But if they don't, or if you catch it before that job leaves, what you can do is you can wait. I said that wrong. The conductor takes vacation, there'll be a vacancy. And they will fill that vacancy with a conductor from the extra board. But if they call a conductor from the extra board, they don't actually fill the vacancy. They just put a conductor on that pull turn and send them out of town. So what I used to do is whenever that train would get called and there was a vacancy, as soon as it left or as soon as it was called and it left and departed, I would call crew call and say, hey, I want to be put on whatever train it was. Or whatever pull turn symbol it was, like W0110 or something like that. And I would fill that vacancy. So now that means whenever that job leaves, I would have to go with that job. But what would normally happen is that train would leave, I would be off for 2 days. And when that train came back in town, I more than likely got rolled off that job. So then I was placed at the bottom of the extra board. I normally got 3 or 4 days off. I know that's really confusing. Kyle, you'll learn a lot about sharpshooting. Just be careful doing it. Don't do it too much if you do it, because I have heard that it's kind of frowned upon now, but I used to do it a lot. Nick, good question. Did you buy fired insurance, and how much was it? Yes, I did. I want to encourage everybody. We called it Whammy. Or job, Whammy job insurance. Absolutely get it. I think mine was, I had mine set for $250 a day. I think it was like $140 a month. And so, believe it or not, if you ever get fired, and I have heard stories, and MFD may be able to even contest to this, I've heard stories where old heads used to purposely get fired during deer season so they can go hunt. And they would draw their $250 a day, and they would draw their unemployment, and they would bring home, they would make between $6,000 and $8,000 a month sitting at home. They would purposely get fired to go hunt. That's a story. Now, that's the stories I've been told. I've never seen nobody do it. That's just what I've been told. And it wouldn't surprise me being with some of the guys that I worked with. But now most people just get off with FMLA. They'll hit NS with FMLA, and there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, job insurance is absolutely crucial to have. I forgot who. Actually, I can tell you who I had. I think I still have their card. Let's see. I doubt y'all will have the same options or choices as I did, but. So how did they get their job back afterwards? So that was their job. I was just filling their job for them while they were gone. And the reason they got the job back before is because I didn't have the seniority to roll them. So it's just filling their spot, really. So whenever they came back and they called crew call and said, all right, I'm back home, you can mark me back up, it would immediately roll me and send me a notification on my mainframe saying that I had been rolled. I needed to place myself. And then I would wait. You had 12 hours. Or was it, maybe it was 12 hours or 24 hours to place yourself? And I'd wait until 23 hours to mark myself back on the extra board. And I would go to the very bottom. I'd be like 20-something times out, and I'd be off for a couple more days. There's a lot of little tricks you can do to get off, and the railroad is kind of catching on to them. But yeah, you just have to be careful and not abuse it too much. I don't think I have that card anymore. I guess it's gone. I've been tempted to get job insurance just for myself at Nucor, just in case something hits the fan. Blowing a after order box 7. What was that MFD? Is that like a slow order? We've almost blew through some slow orders in the past. Thankfully, PTC wasn't active when we did it because we would have been fired. Have you ever missed any holidays or Christmases? I have missed holidays. Christmas, no. NS normally shuts down for Christmas. Now, my last Christmas I worked with NS, they sent me out Christmas Eve. They sent me out Christmas Eve, and they deadheaded me back home. And I got home Christmas morning around 9. Gus, it's all right. You got plenty of time to practice. Plenty of time. Not in effect until around. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that will definitely get it. We used to have do not depart until the arrival of. We've had some guys get fired over that too. And we had it was do not depart until after the arrival of whatever UP motor. And we had 2 trains running behind each other. It wasn't me, thankfully. We were the first train from what I was told that came by. And they asked for my engine number, and I told them, like UP, whatever it is. And the next thing you know, they get a clear block. Because the train was like, I guess it's probably 20 miles behind us. I don't know. Running 60 in a roll train. And they pulled out, and as soon as they pulled out, PTC got them. Wrong engine number. They just got in a hurry. They were trying to get home, I guess. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's scary. Thankfully, whenever y'all hit that signal, at least they got an approach or restricted. Probably put the brakes on real quick. Yeah, that's scary. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. Holy cow. Yeah, Nick, I did that actually. Um, when I had to come down, when I transferred to Birmingham, they made me re-qualify on this territory down here, and they made me take road trips. Like I needed to see that. It's all the same. And so I rode up on the head end the first on the first trip down. It was me, an engineer, a LET, which is an engineer trainee, a conductor, and then a conductor trainee. It was 5 of us on the head end. And I rode up front on the way down there just talking. I sat in the floor on the steps and, just stood up most of the time just talking. And the second, on the way back home, I stayed. It was cold. It was like during the winter. I stayed on a second motor and turned the sidewalls on. And I was out, but I was gone. I didn't care if they saw me on camera or not. I slept the whole way. Yeah, although I've heard some crazy things about Quizlet. I want to see if I can. I want to make one, but I don't. I think when I looked at Quizlet, they were going to charge me some money to make a test, which is kind of crazy. But Kyle, they can get a week, depending on when you hire. You may not get a week this year. You'll get one next year, though. And so the attendance policy, I think they said, correct me if I'm wrong, or you'll know it more. But when I went to Birmingham to requalify here past December, they said that I think they said you can't miss a same day within a six. Is it? Yeah, I think it's a 3 or 4 month time span. So I think it's you can't miss a Monday. If you miss a Monday, you can't miss another Monday for 3 or 4 months. So you essentially you can miss 7 days in 4 months. That's crazy. I can just imagine jumping off the head end. I'm guessing it was a spring switch. I'm guessing you had to throw the switch and get back in the clear. Gus, I have seen, so I might get dinged for looking at this YouTube. But if you look at what's that guy's name? Mike. It's not Mike Carter. I know y'all seen his videos. He works for CSX. This guy has good stuff, by the way. I want to say it was Mike something. He's an engineer for CSX and he posts videos. Hey, look, there's my video. Type in railroad engineer. There it is. Mike Barnett. This guy's got GoPros posted up in his locomotive. I don't know what the policy is. This might have been something for him before he retired. I'm not sure. But I wanted to do this also. I wanted to take a GoPro with me. I've always wanted to do this. Oh, did you really? That's interesting. They must have been coming to Birmingham too. I guess it feels on that side. Kendall, you work in? Oh, that's just a coincidence. You work in Kendleton, Texas. What's your name's Kendall? Nice. I guess you work for BN. I'm guessing if it's out in Texas, it's got to be BN, right? Yes, I don't know. I don't know if you can take a camera with you or not. I was always going to ask and see, but KCS. Oh, nice. So y'all are. What's the word on the merger? You heard any rumors? Because I was looking at this when I first started streaming. I've been trying to keep up with it. Tex-Mex. Yeah. At least y'all can railroad though without worried about train masters. Oh, at least that's what I've been told. That's what we saw down in Meridian. Denied. Wow. I saw where it was denied, then I saw where they pushed it back until the end of September. But that's crazy. What's the fastest I've went? 60 or 61 actually. And the longest trip I've had is going to Chattanooga. I think going to Chattanooga is like 170. I think it's right, 170 miles, something like that. And we had to cross from NS mainline to CSX mainline, so we had to learn CSX signals and then back to NS. Confusing. And they gave you this goofy number you had to repeat every time you had, every time you got, you had to radio the signal that you had, and you had to radio off your train symbol, and it's QC whatever, blah 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 blah, a bunch of numbers behind it. It was wild. Dispatchers didn't ever want to answer you when you toned them up. Oh, y'all run on UP. I didn't even know UP was that. I guess it makes sense. For some reason I have this misconception that BNSF just completely owns the West Coast. Gus, if you do it, I would just keep it for yourself. Yeah, NS makes everybody call out signals too. Then they make you call halfway in the blocks. Like if you're on an approach block, they used to make us say, NS 220 running on an approach block halfway in the block, or running on an approach halfway in the block, plan stopping points, grandma's house, or whatever kind of goofy. It is wild. I mean, I understand why they did it, but we used to always make jokes. Like we used to say grandma's house or at the cookie shop or something goofy. Otto, if you get lucky, you'll have some pretty cool engineers and they'll teach you the basics. Thankfully, I did. And it's because I wanted to learn. I've always been fascinated by it. And Mike Hill, he showed me how to run. He showed me the basics of running a locomotive, and then working in the yard and the locals is really where you'll really get to put your hands on and probably learn the most, because you won't have hardly any cars. You can't really tear anything up. No PTC for the most part. Guess I'll get you a GoPro and just mount it. Where'd mine go? Get you a GoPro like this. This is the old one. Just cut you a little circle in your shirt. Just let it sit right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Indoor, are y'all on dark territory? Y'all got copy track authorities? Oh, Nick, don't even get me started, man. I've watched them all. Like I watched the NS one. NS Conductor. Let's see. Oh, interview questions. That's a good one. If anyone has an interview coming up, y'all need to let me know for NS. That's all I can say. If you have an interview come up with NS, you need to let me know. CTC, dispatcher controls it all. I'm guessing that's what that means. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's dispatcher controls everything. What do we call that? What do we call ours? I can't remember what they call it. Is phone use allowed in the siding, waiting on a train? Kyle, we did all the time. Pretty sure they still do it now, because I talked to a bunch of guys that are still working, and they'll say, all right, we'll talk to you later. We're pulling on them or something like that. So, yeah, I think you can. Oh, okay. Yeah, good old track authorities. Those are a lot of fun. Kyle, you'll get to know more about those. Sure. Because both sides are. Both sides, you got copy track authorities going to Chattanooga and to Memphis. Did you hear about the guy in Rossville Yard, Kyle? I think I talked about this last time. How do they get their employees to help make the propaganda videos? Oh yeah, I would hope so. I wouldn't do it for anything less than a 2 weeks vacation, or maybe 2 months. This one right here is the one that they show you. This guy right here is something else. Was your wife on board with you being on the railroad schedule? Yeah. Yeah, she was okay with it. Oh no, that was in Memphis, Kyle. That's a true story. That was in Memphis. I've mentioned that before in the past too on some of these streams. Um, that was in Memphis. Mike in Memphis, he's a utility. He got shot at 3 or 4 times. Oh, Kendall, I saw that. I read that earlier on Freightways. I was actually reading that where he was stuck. He was sitting on the tracks, waiting for traffic. I was just reading that earlier. That's crazy. That right there. Yep, killed in Texas. 7 a.m. Wow. But the guy in Rossville, Kyle, I'll tell you what happened so that way. I'm sure there's some type of safety rule in place now. But I'm not telling you this to scare you or anything, but you know, it's just something I would want to know. There was a conductor. I can't remember his name. And I'll tell you his name. What are you doing? Let's see. Mm-hmm. Let's see. His name was Bo. I can't remember his last name. Bo. This is from Ty. This is from the BLE union local chairman. Says Bo swapped out with Stumpy. Stumpy is he's a conductor. Me and him used to work at a carrier together. He said they were flagging a crossing and a truck came across as they were shoved into a trailer and turned it over on top of the car. If we look at, let me show you Rossville Yard. I can explain this a lot better. Where is Rossville? It should be somewhere right in Collierville, Grand Junction, Rossville. All right, here's Rossville Yard. It's Intermobile Yard. I think where it happened was, I don't know for sure, but I think it happened right here. So they have a utility car. It's like a little white car. It's probably sitting down here by the trailer, wherever our trailer was. Right here. Right here? No, it's right here. But we used to just ride around in the car. And we would flag it with a car. So we'd pull up right here and stop. Y'all go in there. But we used to just pull up and flag this right here while we were making a couple. And I think what happened was he pulled up right here, and one of these truck drivers tried to beat it or didn't see him. And when he shoved back and hit the 18-wheeler, and the intermobile train car actually fell over. It actually fell over on top of the car, and it killed him. Yeah, go in there. I'm not going to tell you again. Go in there. Hey, go in there. Daddy's busy. Pretty crazy. That was one of those freak accident things, though, that we have all done that a bunch of times. And it's just, I don't know. It's pretty bad. Let's see. Hobo, yeah, shoestrings. Yeah, I've seen those videos. I'm pretty sure he's even been on ours. True. If you derail a car, you'll get drug tested. As far as anything else, I'm not sure. I've never been drug tested or anything like that. You got called for a deadhead, and you're 6th out. They deadheaded you out of town, and you're 6th out. Well, I guess that's an easy day's pay. Might as well take a nap, I guess, being 6th out. Oh. Call back, tell them Deadhead you back home. But yeah, Kyle, this is Rossville Yard. You'll see a lot about this. Ah, see, so they do that to y'all too. Okay, I'll make sure it just wasn't NS. They did that to me when I was on a pull turn. They did that to me a lot. I'd get 5, and they'd deadhead me back home. Now, oh boy, I'd get livid. Kyle, no, not really. For the most part, we always used we called it a shove car, and I think y'all can ride on tank cars now, where we couldn't back then. Um, but on a shove car, it's a rail car with a solid platform. So I'd actually get underneath the rail car, like not underneath it. I'd actually get inside the rail car, I guess it would be, and ride it. Yeah, go back to the extra board and get them 48 hours. Yeah, I understand. I did go back to the extra board though after the pull turn. They did that to me several different times. I did make a lot of money, but I didn't have no time off. But Kyle, there's some rail cars that's got solid floors that you can actually stand in the middle, like in. I don't even know how to explain that. What am I trying to say? I think you probably know what I'm trying to say, but upper rail car. Like right here, we would stand inside this thing. Some of them are completely solid. We could stand inside there, so that way you don't have to worry about hitting anything. But as far as close calls, I never really had any. It just goes back to that I didn't really get in a hurry, man. Like that's my biggest tip to everybody is don't get in a hurry and don't let nobody rush you. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Utley in the yard. Utley's pretty good about not rushing people. But yeah, don't let nobody rush you. Jim Ellison, the yard master, the division, I guess the East End superintendent. He's indicator. He's a great guy, great train master to work with. I think he's actually operations manager, but he's pretty good. Nick, I've heard that they follow people with drones at UP. Yeah, Gus, the good thing is, I think Kendall can attest to this too. It won't last forever. Once you get some seniority and you can hold a local, you'll be at home. Now, Gus, it's possible. I never even got in trouble when I was with NS. I never had one write up, believe it or not. No one ever bothered me besides one time. That was Nick Mullins, and that's the one to look out for too, Kyle. Nick Mullins. He's on the West End, train master in Memphis. They cut all your local jobs, so y'all are strictly road now. Holy crap! Oh, what they do? Give it to contractors, I guess, or short lines? I had to. Oh, okay, that's good. Extra board's looking pretty good. I don't know. I enjoyed working on pull turn. It was fun because I knew where I was going every day. There wasn't no questions. I knew I was going to Memphis every single day, and it was really just gambling game of hoping you caught a good step on step off train. But I never did. I always got the baloney trains of 50 mile per hour, or like a high and wide, something goofy. Yeah, MFT. Good point. Yeah, it's better be prepared just in case. Pendleton to Beaumont. That's or Beaumont. Beaumont's how you pronounce it. Down to the Corpus Christi. I know where Corpus. Okay. Yeah, we ran to Chattanooga and to Memphis. We would swap out with BN and Memphis and UP, and then we swapped out with KCS and Meridian. Oh, Luke, that's a loaded question. That's a good question, but it's a loaded question. And I'm sure MFD and Kendall in here can tell you. You don't really know, especially on the extra board. And as far as leaving, you don't really know. It's hard to say. It's very situational. So, like for instance, let's say I catch a train, I go to Memphis, right? I get to Memphis and I'm like third out whenever I clock out. I know by the time I wake up, they're probably gonna call me off my rest. So that means I'll be going right back home. But then at the same time, the next trip I could go to Memphis and I could go in and clock out and be 6th or 7th out, and I'm gonna be sitting in Memphis for 10, 15, 20 hours, possibly even get a deadhead back home. It's hard to answer that one. It all depends, and you'll learn like once you get to where you're going, you can look at the extra board or look at who's all in town and see where you sit 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th out, and you can kind of look at the trains that are planned, kind of give you an idea. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's true. I remember I sat in Chattanooga for 36 hours, and I've already called dispatchers and crew call, and I'm like, what are we doing here? I've been here 36 hours. I'm still 5th out. Can I get a deadhead back home, please? Thankfully, and they did. It was, oh man, it was horrible. Nick, yeah, that's true. So like on the extra board, let's say you work Monday through Saturday, and your rest starts at 12 a.m. Sunday. They can call you out Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. and you've got to go. Yep, you've got to go. Unless, you don't answer the first phone call and wait. But yeah, it's typical for them to do that. Like, they'll call you Saturday and you'll go out of town. And what happens is whenever you come back in, that's when your 48 hours start. So you won't be off Sunday, Monday. Your time off will start whenever you clock out or tie up. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's the name of the game. That's it. I wouldn't really worry too much about furloughs right now, just being how everybody's so short of conductors and traffic's being way up. I don't see it. I don't personally see it happening anytime soon. And if it does happen in the next couple of years, at least you'll have some type of seniority. You're allowed to quit. 45 hours. Gus, typically furloughs only last for a couple months. The one that happened in 2019 lasted for so long. Like I mentioned before, I think NS overhired, and then they tried to trick their shareholders into saying, "Oh, we're going to take on Hunter Harrison's PSR strategy, but we're going to make it our own." So what they did was they overhired in 2017 and 2018, told the shareholders we're going to take on this and make it our own, and then they furloughed thousands, making it look like they saved a bunch of money. That's what I think they did. That's just my opinion, but I think that's what they did, and that's why the furloughs lasted for so long. Typically, the furloughs will only last for a couple of months during slow seasons, and then whenever it picks back up, they call right back in. Kyle, yeah, if you're on the Memphis side, you don't have to learn CSX signals, but they'll give you like a little sheet. And most of the time, when you start rolling, the signals are really going to be clearer approach. But you'll have an engineer with you also, and they know them, and they'll help you. What is the rest like? Then 10 hours of stepping off train, or when you get clocked out. Yeah, so you get 10 hours whenever you tie up. So whenever you go to the computer and tie up, as soon as you tie up, a 10 hour starts. And so you'll typically get 6 to 8 hours of rest if you just go in there and eat, take a shower, go to sleep. Gus, if you don't answer the phone the first time, they'll call again. If you don't answer it the second time, I think they'll even call you 2 or 3 times. Or you can call them back, but if you don't answer, I'm pretty sure you get wrote up or no call, no show type deal. I'm not sure. I always made sure I had my phone on loud. No, Gus, I think they're overhiring. I think they're hiring so much now. Yeah, good point, Kendall. If you tie up on your phone, or that's a, I'm glad you just said that, Kendall. Sometimes we used to tie up by phone. We would call our dispatcher or crew call. I think we could call a dispatcher or crew call. I think we called our dispatcher. I can't remember. We called one of them, and you'd tie up by phone. So we'd actually get to the hotel and or maybe stop and get some food, and then go to the hotel, and then tie us up in the parking lot. You can do that too. But Gus, I don't think they're overhiring now. I think they're trying to get caught up from this, from crew caller. Yeah, okay, crew call. But yeah, I think they're hiring now because they cut. I think they spread themselves thin, and now they're trying to get caught back up to where they should have been to begin with. But they was trying to impress shareholders, and that's the name of the game with these class ones. That that's all they really care about. I read something earlier. I'll show y'all this. On Facebook, 2-man crew page. Share this on Facebook if y'all want to join. It's called the Fight for 2-Man Crews. I think it's called the Fight for 2-Man Crews. Fight for 2-person crews. There's almost 10,000 people in here. I saw something on here earlier. Here we go. So I don't even know who this guy is. Apparently he's some kind of bigwig. Top regulator urges railroads to focus on growth. And this was his quote. I need to make sure this is right, but I'm pretty sure it's right. It's from an admin. It says, Wall Street's influence has put shareholder interests above those and other key railroad stakeholders, including customers, employees, and the public. And he was critical of the railroad stock buyback programs and dividends, that they have put more money into shareholders' pockets than into maintaining and expanding the rail network, which I believe is absolutely true. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully something happens in the fall with a 2-man crews. I don't even know who this regulator is. Surface Transportation Board Chairman Martin Oberman. Interesting. Says in the last 15 years, since 2006, our economy has grown by more than 50%, nearly $8 trillion of enhanced economic activity. And yet railroads are carrying less freight today than they were in 2006. While rates have gone up, there might just be a connection. Yeah. Jeremiah, what's up, man? Oh, man. Let's see. Yeah, Kendall, I was too. I said the reason I made this channel was because I remember when I started, it was in 2017. There was nothing on YouTube, man. It was like, those goofy NS videos. What it's like to be a conductor. Baloney. That's why I made the channel, is to let people in on what's really going on. And thankfully, I've started to get a community of actual conductors also that can help me. Like you, MFD. I got Daryl in here. He's a dispatcher. I'm starting to get a lot of guys are going to school and actually becoming conductors, and they're still subscribed to the channel, so it helps. RCL. What's RCL stand for? I'm curious. I'm ignorant to that one. I should probably know what it means. I say RCL meaning railroad. See what it says. that remote control locomotives? Is that what you're getting at? What do we call them? We call them RCOs. That's what we call them, RCOs. Yeah, we call it. Yeah, well, those things are everywhere now. MF did everywhere. Definitely like on if anybody's working the hump, most of the time it's a guy with that thing strapped to him and pulling cut levers and sending them down the hill. Oh man, it's interesting. Bro, that's a good question. I was just talking to Kendall about that. KCS and who was it? CP? Is that right? Not CP. Not CP. CN? Can't remember who it was. CP. It is. Oh, CN. C. I don't know who it is. Is it CN or CP? CN. That's right. Okay, I see. CN or go with Canadian Pacific. So try to make a decision. Yeah, grab that's the one that's been put on the back burner from last thing. Kendall said that it was denied, and he probably knows a lot more than these reporters know. So we'll go with what he says. And then I saw where they said they pushed it back until the end of September. There it is. KCS punts merger vote until late September. Chimp, you've been waiting over a month after med and background to hear anything from NS. Yeah, mine was a 6-month wait, but I think a lot of people are starting to get in the situation I was in where they have hired so many people that they just didn't have the room for us in class. And I've also heard that they knocked class down to around 10 people or so because of this whole COVID stuff. I believe your union guy over this reporter, Kendall. No. I don't know. Joanna Marsh. I think I believe your union man I've never even heard of over Joanna Marsh. That she has worked for Argus Media and contributing reporter for Argus Rail Business. So you've never stepped foot on ballast? No. Sorry. Can't trust that. Oh. Oh yeah. Guess it's gonna happen. Don't worry. Kyle, it seems like Muscle Shoals gets put on the back burner. That's what happened with me, man. It was a long wait. I think I still have my emails. Kendall, how do you like it so far? You're creeping up. Well, you've been there for what, 6 or 7 months? Can't do math. April. Been there 4 months. Still like it? 5 months. Hey, dude. I see the culture has grabbed a hold of you. I was telling Gus, it did to me. I got. Isn't it crazy how? Isn't it crazy how? I'm sure you've. Tell me if you've recognized this. All the old heads talk about how bad it is out there, but they've been there for 30 or 40 years. Is it just NS thing or is that a KCS thing too? Yeah, no life. I understand. They love the money. Yeah. They love the money but hate the company. Oh yeah, I guess I understand how that. Oh, I can't say I don't understand that, but I could see where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah, Kendall. I had several of those. Several of those. I worked with at Muscle Shoals. Kyle, you'll hear a bunch of it. They'll talk about how bad they hate it. This company sucks. Blah blah blah. How long you been here? Oh, I've been here 40 years. You must not hate it that bad. my first day. My first day. I've said this story a bunch. My first day starting in Muscle Shoals. Worked with a conductor named Peeper. He had been there like 40 something years. Engineer named Mike Hill. He had been there 39. I walked in and Peeper said, Mike, this is our new CT, Joey. Mike said, if you're smart, you'll get your shit and get the hell out of here. His exact words. I was his last conductor he worked with before he retired. His last week, I was with him that whole week, and it was pretty cool. Gus, from my understanding, the cameras only record video. They don't record audio. Jeremiah, I think it's just a company. It really boils down to the company and the unions not fighting enough for the NS guys. But I mean, it's not like NS guys aren't making a good money. Like engineers are making $120 something thousand a year. But if you go to KCS, I bet Kendall's making a killing. That's up to him to share what he's making, but or what his guarantee is. But KCS guys make good money. CSF or really BNSF is like top tier, from my understanding. But Kyle, I moved to what's the name of that place? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if the cameras had audio, we'd all be fired. Where did I move to? It was cheap. My apartment was. I don't know if you have family car or anything like that, but I moved to. It was off Bradshaw Drive in Florence. What was that place, Brad? My address was 1125 Bradshaw Drive, Florence. The Woodlands. That's what it was. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and it was $450 a month. 80% on pull, I make about $4,500 every 2 weeks. Heck yeah, that's good money. $9,000 a month. Before taxes, that's pretty good. That's flirting with BN money. Yeah, the Woodlands Apartments. Nikki, I understand. It's funny how old heads are. True man, take it easy, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. Well, I'll be back. I will be back on here probably. Let's shoot for Wednesday after. I'm gonna be here on Wednesday afternoon at 7. If you want to come back. We ain't if it ain't raining, we ain't training. That's the best part, being an engineer. You just shut the window. Good thing is, whenever we hit 1,000 subscribers, I can actually make posts on my YouTube channel and let everybody know when I'm going live. 965. Should be there in a week or so. At the rate we're going. Sheesh. I didn't have any problems up there, Kyle. I think the woman's name is Brenda. She was all right. Me and her we bumped heads a little bit right there at the end, but yeah. Yeah, Nick, no problem. I'm just glad I can help. Deli, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Gus, that's not accurate. I don't know why they say that. I guess some yards is a 2-year turnaround, but typically it's about, I would say, between 5 to 8. And Muscle Shoals, you're looking at about 7 or 8 years to be, maybe 6 to 8 years to be an engineer. And Irondale and Birmingham, it was around 4 to 5. Jeremiah, nah, you gotta have a little bit of life. You stay on the extra board, you got 48 hours, you can sharpshoot. Oh yeah, no problem. I said I'm just glad I can help. I just remember being in all of y'all, most of y'all's shoes, and just going like, well, what in the hell am I getting myself into? I mean, it was something I wanted to do, so that was okay. But there's a lot of people who, a lot of people have families and stuff, and they just can't afford to just take the risk, and they need to know what they're getting themselves into. You remember Jeremiah also. Once you get some seniority, you'll have a local for too long. 3, 4 years in, you'll have seniority, and you'll be able to hold a local, and you'll be at home every night. Gus, yeah, that's a pretty good point. Yeah, I would say so too. I would either say short line or somewhere else, or tough it out for 4 or 5 years until you can hold a local. Like in Muscle Shoals, like Kyle I think he can test this. He knows how Muscle Shoals is. There's really nowhere else to work besides the TVA or the railroad. That's like the 2 best jobs. You got Freight Car America that you can work at, but as far as like making over 6 figures, you got to work for the TVA or the railroad if you're gonna do that, or work at the hospital. Have a degree and work in a hospital. There's some short lines in Muscle Shoals too. They call ABS. That's what they called it. Did they not try and scare y'all during the hiring session? Because I remember they tried to scare a lot of people. We had a lot of people get up and leave. They remember Michael Larkin being like, if you got kids and you want to be at home for their birthdays, you might as well go ahead and leave. You ain't gonna be here. You want holidays off? You might as well leave. You're gonna be at work. You don't like working in the elements? You might as well leave. Oh man. Well, Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that's true. It definitely worked. I saw a lot of people leave. You pulled number one in your class and last guy in line. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know where I fell in class. I mean, I was passionate about it, but I didn't score high. I think our last test, our final test with NS, I think I scored like an 81. You have to have an 80 to pass. I was barely squeaked by. Yeah, it's because all the different goofy brake tests they made you do, and now you don't even have to do them because you don't have to brake test or inspect any train that's been off air for 24 hours. It used to be 4. If it was off air for 4 hours, you had to do a class 1 inspection. Oh man. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night, fellas. I gotta go to work in the morning. 4:30 comes early, and I still gotta take a shower. But so I'll plan on. So I gotta go back to work tomorrow. Next week I go back in Thursday night. So I'll probably stream Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday night around 7. I'll probably stream around 7 to 9, 7 to 9:30, somewhere in there. Until then, if y'all need anything, hang on, let's see. Let me get my stuff here. I should just make a thing. What I do at Newcourt, I am a mill helper, Deli. I just help run 2 mill. This is my Facebook if any of y'all need to send me a message or got any questions. Then, so I actually got an email specifically for you guys. Let's see, what is it called? I'm pretty sure it's Railroad Talk at Gmail. Yep, this is it right here. Y'all got any questions? Feel free to message me, email me, all that good stuff. MFD, good night, man. Thank you for being here. All you guys, Gus, Kendall, Otto, Jeremiah. There's a bunch of you in here. Nick, Kyle, all you guys, Drew, and y'all need anything, y'all send me a message. And I'll see y'all. I gotta make another video too on signals. I'm working on that. I'm just waiting to get off work this week. So as soon as I get off work, I'll have that posted early next week. So anyways, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all shortly in a couple of days. Thank y'all again for being here. Adam, thank you, man. Appreciate it.